The Ultimate Pickleball League, the UPL. This is the Ultimate Pickleball League podcast, a gateway to this incredible league, hosted by Mickle Moore. Discover the stories, travel inside with the amazing people that make it all work. Sit back, grab some popcorn. Welcome to the Ultimate Pickleball League. All right. Here we are once again. Been a little while. Ultimate Pickleball League podcast. And today, if you didn't see the hat, I am joined by the owner of the Scottsdale Sting. They're looking good too. Is that a King's Court special edition right there, baby? Look at that. Got the flag on there. I love it. Looking sharp.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's good
Looking
stuff.
good. Shout out to the folks over there at King's Court, making great looking lids. Everybody going to be wearing that this weekend?
You know it, man. You know it.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Ian, I'm super happy you're able to join me here today. We kind of moved things around to find time in your schedule. Busy guy, I know. So again, thanks for making the time. The day you mentioned earlier, been grinding a little bit. However, the grind's going to pay off this weekend. I am super excited for this event, UPL Week 4 at Dink and Dine. Let's talk about that. Let's just jump right into it. Go ahead. Tell me how you're thinking about it, how the team's preparing. Are you getting pumped?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we are fully engaged on the Sting sideline over here for Dink and Dine. This has been a good, planning session for David and myself. And also Tyler Costin. We've kind of worked on the Dink and Dine approach for the last really 2 months or so. And we're super excited. I know we did the exhibition a couple months ago. I think you were there, Mickle, and that was a great turnout. Yeah, we're ready to go, my friends and family, and we're stoked.
Awesome, and yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a great turnout. We want people to turn out, and another reason we were happy to get this in ahead of it so we can even continue to promote it. And we'll certainly talk a little more about that. And glad it's awesome that owners are getting collective, coming together, especially right here when we've got so many teams in our region where we can pick each other's brains week to week, continue to make this thing even better. And so while it's great to focus right here on the present, we got to go back a little bit. Talk to me, Ian, about when you got pickle fever, how long you've been playing pickleball, your journey lead me to what brought you to now having a team in the UPL. Are you a player owner?
Player owner.
That's
One
right.
might call me Jackie Moon, Mickle.
Say that again.
One might call me Jackie Moon from the Flint Tropics.
One might, and then again, one might not. However, we might go with it. Let's see how the team keeps doing, and I got to see more of you on the court, and I got to see more of you pumping the team on the sideline if we're going Moon for you.
Oh, you're right about that. So, a little background on me. I grew up golfing. I was a big golfer growing up, caddied my whole life. I want to say about 3 years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago, I joined a social pickleball league with some friends, and I played in this league. It was kind of a fun league, and I hit some shots and was running around the court. I'm like, all right, this is pretty fun. I'm getting a good workout, and I'm not bad at it. So that's most important, right? The competitor in me. And after that, I just I started going to a lot of the local courts. Horizon, can't think of the other one in Arcadia there, but Horizon, and this is where you truly kind of cut your teeth. You meet really great people. You meet competitive people. Some people don't play around. It's kind of like you either sink or swim, get off the court if you can't hang, that type of thing. But yeah, started to take it pretty seriously and started playing some cash games, getting invited to play in some foursomes, and fast forward to the UPL. I started playing on the Chandler Comets with David and Chris, and very thankful to them for the opportunity to come on board with them for a bit. And the Sting, they were the Scottsdale Scorch actually initially, and I'd heard through the grapevine that there was an opening from a leader perspective, their owner, I should say. And with David and Chris's grace, they allowed me to leave the Comets and take over Scottsdale. So I've always been very entrepreneurial. I owned a business in college, and In my current role, I lead out on a lot of initiatives, and I've just been super stoked to be a part of this thing and really build something that's not only mine, but the people that I'm doing it with. And Charles is building something great here. I think any business mind would see this and be really excited about the potential here and what we're doing. And yeah, I'm probably spending too much time, Mickle, on this thing on a day-to-day basis, but here we are.
Hey, exactly. And I mean, I think you're in a great place. If you got to dial back your time a little bit to your real job, that's fine. More time for the UPL, that's what makes it ultimate. And I like how you said it, building something. And something I truly believe is buildable for sure. Look at how we are currently across the country, multiple regions, lots of teams playing pickleball under the UPL umbrella every weekend when we're playing. Right now, Charles and the squad are over there in the Philippines, spreading the word, teaching some pickleball. I think looking at even how to help get courts established over there, which is a big part of the initiative of this league. When right here, we can continue to build and grow this for players of your caliber. And then what I really like too, sure, we've got a level you need to be. This is semi-pro. It's developmental in nature. You can aspire to get in here and have a lot of fun because what's different, Ian, than, and you might have experienced this, and I'll let you tell me,
Mhm.
is if you and me are pretty good players and we go to enter a tournament, there's a little money involved in that. Maybe we have to travel to it, and then it's all day. And maybe we play twice, maybe we play three times, maybe we get really lucky and play a few more times. What I think is attracting players to come to the UPL semi-pro is that on match day, we're getting what? Every time they get to play, 4 games minimum, because we play all of them, which is, I think, great because we're getting to play. And that's what's important to people. And the fact of these regions is we don't have to travel a lot. So we're kind of minimizing a lot of that cost too. Your thoughts, your experience so far, or feedback from your team.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, the games are, as you know, they're super competitive. You play the five or so matches. Even if you're 2 games in or 3 games into the match, and you might be losing, right? You're still playing the rest of the match to pick up, point differential from a standings perspective, which that's still motivating, right? You're not out of it. I mean, you're out of, you might have lost the match, but you can still, save yourself in the standings there. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting, messages from players that I play every week with, cash games that are all great players, great people that are inquiring. And being in sales myself, typically when people are asking questions, that's a buying signal, right? To say, okay, let me tell you a little bit more about it. Let's chat about it. And seeing my team really rally behind the weekly updates. And I mean, I think they're practicing tonight. I won't be there, but they're practicing. I didn't organize that. It's amazing, right? People are engaged. I mean, the other thing too, Mikkel, which I won't name names. This is very interesting. How I know things are developing is that I've gotten messages from really high level players that are interested, but they say, what are you going to pay me to come on board and play for the Sting?"
Right.
And I said, okay, interesting. First of all, I'm not going to pay anything yet. Second of all, I love the idea and the thought
Yes.
process, right? But that's interesting, and that's a sign of potential, what may come down the road, and I love that, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm glad you said that. And that's great to hear. Initial part of the vision of the league from Charles when he and I first talked on my show was that can we get this to a point where teams are able via local sponsors, via success of the league, offer something to players to be able to play on these teams and we start operating in that semi pro fashion where you can really supplement yourself playing a little pickleball. And are we there yet? Well, probably not. Can we get there? I think we can. And to hear that you're already receiving that sort of buzz, right? People reaching out. Hey, Ian, like this thing a little bit. What can I get? What
Cool.
would you pay me to come play down here?
Yeah,
Hey, keep
I love
talking,
it.
keep
I think it's
talking, right? And the more we put on events like this weekend, the more you see the things on the social media from the other regions around. It's just awesome to see because players are responding, owners are having fun with it, and I get back to local participation as well. We're seeing teams get local sponsors. We're getting our community involved. I mean, we're in Pickle Zona. People are going to start coming out and watching this pickleball. And step back, how did you go about forming your team? Because from what I understand, and I don't need to name names, but the selection process when you're in your shoes gets difficult because you know people who are good enough to play on the team and who want to play on the team. And then you got to go, ugh,
Yeah.
I didn't pick you this time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's one of the, rough aspects, but also cool at the same time. Like I'm learning as well, right? Like I absorbed the team and some players in the team, and I'm a believer in just being transparent and straightforward. And I told them straight up, I said, we're going to put the best damn team out there, the most competitive team out there. That's, no negotiation. And so, kind of being honest about that, I held a separate, an additional tryout and had some folks turn out. But I have a lot of friends that I've gotten close with and play, we know each other's style. They know the other people that I play with, their style. And I really wanted to build a team. I didn't want to have like one or two all-stars. I
Right.
wanted to have, a bunch of very solid people, most importantly, good people that I would go have a coffee with or a beer with and hang out with outside of pickleball, right? That's very important because I told them, I said, that this is going to be a lot. It's still, forming, right? There's going to be some questions you're going to have, and I'm going to may or may not have the answers for you right away. I'll get them for you, but just cool people that go with the flow, competitive, good players, and again, good people. So, I feel like I've built a solid team, really, really good people. They're okay with me charge on that, and I'm happy to be doing that. But I'm excited to see what comes, how things evolve.
Absolutely. It's a long season. And you mentioned that you need people who are going to be committed because it is that long of a season. And that way you also have to fill out your roster knowing that you've got backups and that you do have that practice squad. And you've got people taking initiative. They're practicing tonight. What I love is I know locally we get teams, they scrimmage, off schedule, which is awesome. Only fuels that competitive nature that we want in this league. And you see the play on the court. And I mean, I've got the standings over here. Right now, I can pull them up. Let's bring them up over here. This is fun stuff. We can take a quick look just at the old desert region here. See
Keep in
if I
mind, Michael, I only took over 2 weeks ago, right? So you
Hey,
look at the standings
it's okay.
3 weeks ago, I should say.
We got them right here. And so we can look at the top, the El Paso Ballers. Now again, some teams have played more matches than others. You're right around that 6 mark, which seems about the average when we score it down. There's Tempe. They're going to be in action this weekend. Do you know who you play this weekend? Who are your 2 matches against?
We have the Chandler Comets,
Okay.
and then that's at 5 p.m. And then we have the Phoenix Swarm at 7,
Okay.
which I've had that on my bulletin board for a couple weeks now because that would be a
Fun.
nice leap in the standings to take down the Swarm. Good
That
team.
would be that 2 great matches. You got the Comets right ahead of you. You got the Swarm who are up here right there, number
Absolutely.
5. And I mean, last weekend you had to play against the kids who were right above you. Now they were traveling one weekend, and so they're down a few matches. Talk about that experience. We were talking about it already before you even played them. But again, this league is so cool where we have a team like Hype Soul. They're a bunch of younger players, though they're pretty darn good. Wasn't it fun to play them?
It was super fun. My gosh. And some of those guys, I've seen in cash tournaments or PPA events, Maverick, they're all great players. Maverick's an awesome player. He's on his way. Grayson, the lefty, he's a great player. But no, they held themselves, presented very well. We played well that game too. We got the win, but man, it was fast paced
Yeah.
and yeah, just a great team and great for the league as well.
Yeah, and it was cool to see the old coach get the old man out there, right? See Howard out there on the court. He was, he was putting it back and forth. It was awesome.
Sure.
You know,
Yep, I saw that. Yep. I'll tell
and
you
that,
what, good. We did take an L to Goodyear, and they are a team to watch. They are a very good team there and very very well balanced. We played. I think they beat us 4-1 on paper, but every match was within a few points. I want to say so. Sometimes,
even when some of the matches are going 4-1, 3-2, the games within are typically super close. And of course, my standard question anytime I'm talking UPL, the dream maker, the doubles dream maker. How's the team getting into that? It seems like everybody really loves it. I love watching it. We even did it in my Wednesday league one time. We set up teams just so we could do it. And
Hmm.
because it's so fun and it's new to pickleball, it could catch on all over pickleball.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super fun. It's unique. One of the one of the aspects that really sticks out to me is the when you have a close game, say I'm defending, right? And the other team's on offense. Say it's 20 to 21. The other team could win by two, right? The other team actually is it win, I think it's win by one. Either way, it's win by one. So it's 2020 with the transition of the ball. If they don't score, you get the ball back, you can win on that next point, right? I love how quickly, the margins are very, very slim. And yeah, I've noticed that's been pretty exciting. I'm like, oh shoot, we can win it right here. And when we were just down a second ago, right? Very, very quick transitions. I was telling David Slade last week. He's the owner. Him and Chris are the owners of the Comets and the headwear brand Kings Court. During the league or during the match at Pickleball Kingdom last week, during their play Dreammaker, it was so loud over there. And I told him, I was like, "Good Lord!" I was playing my game. I looked back. I'm like, "Good Lord!" It sounded like there was 100 people back there. There were probably 20 or 25, but just good for the game. And you can it's cool to see it again evolve and excited to see where it goes.
Absolutely. I mean, overall, great for the game of pickleball, a league like this that continues to grow. We're just in year one, week 4, and we're here with Ian Anderson, player owner, striving to be the Jackie Moon of the UPL. And I think he can get there. I mean, that was a strong pull.
It
Now,
was.
now you got to get there.
It was. It was. If only I
Having
had the confidence of Jackie Moon, right?
So good, so good. I think maybe at some point during the season, you come out with some tank top
Ooh,
unis, Sting style, but Tropic style for the Sting, full headband, whole deal. You can
game
do it.
over. Game
You can
over,
do
dude.
it. I mean, maybe at the end of the year, whatever. You'll find a way to do it. But now I got to help you do it. And so we'll talk offline. I'll see if we can get some people together and make this thing happen for sure because it would look great.
I love it.
And so we got the big matches coming up this weekend, playing against the Swarm, and then reminding me again against the Comets. So
Comments.
Dave's team and then Charles's team. And so
Yep.
that should be two great matches. Know a lot of those folks. We're gonna have a lot of fun down at the Dink and Dine. Everybody come this weekend, May 30th, starting around 5 o'clock. If you want to get there a little early, you can. I'm gonna do a little MC action. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of fun
Oh yeah.
player intros, team rollouts. We're doing raffles. We're really starting this thing, really getting this thing fired up and really going to set a standard to what we can do each week. And I think it can only start to get better. Sitting here with Ian from the Scottsdale Sting, having a lot of fun. And so you mentioned you grew up playing golf. Now, did you play golf competitively, high school, college, or talk to me about that?
Yeah, yeah. I played all through high school. Was fortunate enough to, grow up. My parents remember members at a golf course growing up, a country club, which was, very nice. Got to learn the game early on there. Played all through high school. I think our high school team won 3 years of state, so we were very, very competitive golf team in
Nice.
upstate New York, Western New
Okay.
York, I'd say. I didn't play in college. I played a little bit, kind of played around with it, but I decided I didn't want to play full time, and then I transferred out to Arizona State for school and just did school and had some fun out here.
Nice.
But soccer, I've played a lot of sports most of my life. Always been a
Ooh,
decent athlete, and yeah.
fun. You mentioned soccer. Fun segue. I got my World Cup
Ooh,
scarf right here.
okay,
Look at that
okay,
bad daddy.
yeah, that's nice. Well, it's all the countries on there. Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
like,
got the little World Cup deal on the back there.
man, that's sick. Yeah,
Shout out to Cox Cable. They can do something right. They gave out a freebie and I was able to snag one. I mean,
heck yeah, all
it's
over it.
and I always talk about we got a World Cup year and then the next thing you know we're back to, football, football. Thoughts on World Cup? Are you you're a soccer guy, going to be watching it? Thoughts on Team US?
It's one of those things that transparently, Saturday, Sunday mornings, I might watch the Premier League, before I get out of bed and start my day, but I'm not super engaged with it. Every time, the World Cup comes around, it's like you drop everything and you're rooting for Team USA. It's like, it's amazing. It's just a unspoken kind of emotion that you're really behind. And yeah, I think I haven't done too much research on the roster this year. I'm not sure how much is deviated, but I think, you would hope that we'd be pretty competitive, but it's traditionally been a little bit of a battle for Team USA.
Yeah, it's traditionally like trying to follow an Arizona professional sports team. You get really fired up and excited, and then they get on the field, and you go, all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
So again, I go USA. I want us to be good. I can we get out of the group? Get out of the group. Just get out of the group.
do we know who the group is yet?
They're all out there. I couldn't recite to you who's in our group. It seems like we've got a favorable draw. Of course, there's always, some teams that can do what happens. It's a World Cup. I mean,
Hmm.
you can't mess around in group play. You got to get to that knockout round, which I think anytime the USA can is a good World Cup.
Yeah, that's a win for sure. I agree.
And it's cool they're playing. They're playing what in California. They're going to finish it in New York. And I think some teams there were teams training here out in Mesa. At least
Hmm.
I heard. Now I don't know if that shifted or not, but that was part of it before.
Yeah, there's some great facilities out here, honestly.
Absolutely. Great soccer, great pickle facilities. We're going to be at one, Dink and Dine, this coming weekend, May 30th. The Scottsdale Sting are going to be there. A lot of the other Ultimate Pickleball League teams are going to be there. We know the Swarm, the Comets, the Ernie, and I think the Mavericks, and I can't remember the other ones. We've got some Utah teams coming down. I just found out about that. They're going to be playing a little earlier. You probably knew that already. And
Yeah.
so, but I think for the people, they need to get down there around 5 o'clock is the best time to come, enjoy a little fun, watch some great pickleball. And so, talking here with Ian, owner, player, Scottsdale Sting, where do you put yourself in the lineup? Will you be in the lineup this weekend?
Yeah, no, I'll be in the lineup. I'm kind of I position myself as a base, right? I typically I'll play the C slot, and I'm still deciding if I want to do the mixed match or if I'm going to play with one of the other players. We have a great roster. I think I'm at 9, maybe 10 people now on the roster, and the thing that I love about it is everybody's very aligned with. Some weeks they might not play, other weeks they're going to play both games, right? And I love that about the people on the team. Again, speaks to the character of some of these people and how they operate. But yeah, I'm probably going to play the C slot. It's either going to be, I think we're having Ellie Medawar sub for us this week. She's a great player. And a few other players playing the B slot, Andrew O, Brian S, and then we have our newcomer, Malima, who's a really good tennis player, really good pickleball player. Also, local, people love that guy. He just, the social media post blew up on Instagram, which was great. So excited to see him in action, and he'll be playing with Joe Wells. Actually, I'm probably sharing too much info. Michael, you're pulling too
Good.
much. You're
You're
pulling too much.
good. You're good.
But yeah, no, we're ready
It's
to
a
go.
it's like in football. It's third and short. You know I'm running it. I know I'm running it. You got to stop it.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
Come on, Jackie Moon. You got to be ready.
Jackie Moon. Jackie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, big weekend ahead, big season ahead, and plenty of time to gather points, get out of the region, because that's an exciting part. Even in year one, we're working our way to the Ultimate Cup. Already on the website, we got the ticker down to the final and the cup, where a team is going to win 75 grand, and this is just year one. And we talked about how we can continue to build this. In year one, we're gathering momentum all across the country. Here in the desert region, we've got what, 13 teams. We've got teams up in the Northwest. We've got teams in Canada. And we already mentioned how we're expanding internationally. And again, what I think is super cool for owners like yourself, players on the team that also have other pickle interests, let's say, look at how they're able to up their personal brand. That's part of what I do here with the Ultimate Pickle Pod is talk with people like yourself. Hey, let's talk to more players throughout the year because together is what makes this thing grow. And I always bring that back. Thanks to people like yourself, hey, Dave and Chris, all of our great owners across the league who have put in a little bit of their money, a lot of their time to really make this thing go. We need those players, and we need players to talk about the league, players to be anxious to play in this league to the point where it's like, hey, do I get a little, little something for the kid here if I come down and join your team, Ian? What's up? I mean, that is so cool, and that's where this thing is all heading. I mean, murmurs about additional ways that people can see it right now. We stream through Sportfy, and we've got a lot of great content from the teams. I'm excited for this weekend. What do you think for yourself if you had to look ahead, even into the pickle crystal ball, let's say the ultimate crystal ball,
Hmm.
for even a year or two, even in year three, where might you see this thing? How do you see it?
Oh, man, one of the things that was pretty cool to hear is I had some people that asked me about these hats. already. And so it got me thinking, right? Like, I mean, they're beautiful hats. There's
Yeah, no,
visors for the women as well. Nice visors. I've had some people ask, like, when can I buy some Scottsdale Sting gear?
you need some
And
swag.
pretty awesome, right? So obviously that gets my brain churning. So I can see a lot of the teams having their own marketplace potentially set up where you can link out and go buy some t-shirts, Scottsdale Sing t-shirts, UPL shirts. I know that already exists, but really just build out the apparel side because there's something about it's the local feel, right? I think it's going to be bigger than that. But truly having pride in Scottsdale, like this is our territory, right? Like this is our area.
Absolutely. More engagement into the community. And hey, you can even probably square off a little section in the UPL marketplace already. But then even what I mean, more tentacles from for the octopus, right? If it's pushing
For sure.
things out to see and visibility for the Sting, our sponsors that are making great stuff, that's what it's all about. And doing this all across the country. There's only one league that is taking this approach. And
Mhm.
and you probably know just like I do, Ian, there's many avenues or let's just say outlets, leagues across pickleball. We know the big ones, right? And we talked about earlier how fun the dream, breaker or dream maker is in our league. But when you're watching MLP on, TV this weekend, their owners have to stack the lineup. And you talked about now I'm rambling all over the place, but it brought me back to when you said, hey, I want to have like one, this solid player here and kind of build that team around it. Look at some of the MLP teams that made some waves down
Yeah.
there this weekend versus some of the more quote unquote favorites. And that's what's great with the UPL. We're going to see players even on your own team might, have to move up from B to A even in 1 year.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the cool parts about this. I talked to Charles about it couple weeks ago, but to bring somebody on that has a lot of potential onto the team, and maybe they're playing in that C slot, and right, they're practicing with the team every week, and then they, say we play one of the top teams, and they're in that C slot, and they have a great win, right? They might have earned their right to play in that B slot the next week, right? Kind of the area where you can duper wise, where you can mix and match. I love that. And like you said, right, if they're on their way at some point, maybe they leave the team at some point and they're on the APP tour or whatever.
Right.
That's a feather in the cap of the UPL. That's a feather in the cap of the Scottsdale Sting. Everybody that's playing on the team and just the development side of things. So I think it's awesome, and I think a lot of potential with that.
For sure. And that's kind of where I see a whole vision and in the space that UPL can occupy. When you look across even just the landscape of Pickle Zona and what they're doing in high school pickleball. All right, well, hey, here's a league once you get out of high school that you can play in because maybe you're not playing
Amazing.
in college, but it's going to be existing and it's going to have a little foothold and some foundation into it. And then to your point, jump out to APP. Maybe you're really good and go PPA. Maybe you get called up to the MLP because you've been playing in a team format. And
Right.
so I think the possibilities we're only scratching the surface. And what I really love is your enthusiasm with it. You meant let's not let your real work see this. He's got all his real work done before UPL comes, right?
Doing
But
my business. Yep.
the enthusiasm of the owners, right? When we get on calls, when we're talking together, even at the events of like, hey, what if we tried this and what if we do that? And the fact that Charles is open to those ideas because
Hmm.
we're creating this thing as it goes, and it's really cool to be a part of it.
Yeah, for sure. And even I was watching some of the MLP this weekend, and typically I hadn't in the past, but I kind of feel like the rally scoring approach is kind of gaining popularity. It's a little faster paced. I wasn't really a fan of it in the beginning, and then playing the UPL, I've kind of become more of a fan of it once I've adjusted. But I think that faster paced play is kind of an interesting trade off to the PPA style format. But yeah, I think it's only going to continue to grow. And I also love to your point, right? Like people have day jobs, right? And then they're working hard on those and making their money that way, right? So having it be on the weekends is a really nice breakup for people, for the average person to
Yeah.
accommodate and make sure they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's. So it was a good mention.
Absolutely. And we're every other weekend. And so you still
Exactly.
get that full extra time, whether it's to do some stuff for your team, of course, take time with your family, wherever you are in your life. It's not 100% full pickleball all the time. I think it's manageable. And that's another attractor to where we continue to bring in people to build new teams, players to come play on teams. Just a great thing we got going here. Again,
Absolutely.
having great fun, great time here on the court, my virtual court, with Ian from the Scottsdale Sting. Now we've come to the part of the show. Yep. Again, great pool, Kings Court, hats, ladies and gentlemen, check them out. Good stuff. If you're ready, we can have a little fun. Get people a little behind the curtain, kind of like a hands battle. It's what I call my speed 'em ups. We'll
Okay.
take just a few minutes. We'll go back and forth a little bit. You know, things like TVs, movies, kind of things like that. I'll start you off with a softball. Okay, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. I mean, you're a golf guy. Who's your favorite golfer?
Oh, man. Favorite golfer. You know what? I think I got to go with Freddie Couples.
Woo, smooth swinging, boom, boom.
Smooth as molasses. Just calm, cool, and collected. Just an OG, a legend of the game. And
Love it.
yeah,
Used to love watching him and D Love just crush people in the team events back in the day. That's a
yeah.
great pull. All right, see, you hit that one right out of the park. All right, we'll
Alright.
keep it going. Last series you binged.
Last series I binged. So there's a show on Netflix. I think it's called Bad Mistakes, and it's with the guy from. If you ever watched
It's great.
hilarious show, great show, and I think to call a show hilarious nowadays is a little harder to do. Times are different. Great show, highly recommend.
Nice. Good pull there. 2 for 2. First car.
Mitsubishi Mirage,
Okay, what year was that?
a black Mitsubishi Mirage. I shipped it from New York to Arizona, and I swear to God, I lost some bolts on the way over from New York. But that was my baby for about 5 years, 6 years.
Right on. I can see you cruising around in the El Mirage there. Yeah, totally. Totally. All right. First concert you went to.
First concert. This is going to be a funny one. My sister's birthday. I was 10 years old. It was Britney Spears and NSYNC. And
Wow. Who opened
kind
for
of
who? Did NSYNC open for Britney?
it was this. I don't know if you remember this, but it was the tour when they both had the jeans shirts and the jean cowboy hats. Anyways, I was eating the Doritos in the limo the entire time. It was a good time. It was my
Nice.
sister's.
Nice. Another solid pull. Here we go. All right,
Yes.
go to junk food.
Go-to junk food. Is pizza considered junk food?
I think so. I mean, or is it considered one of the 4 food groups of its own? It's just like pizza stands out there.
It's like when I'm like,
Because in that new nutritional table they put out, the new pyramid, wasn't pizza at the top?
pizza was at the top. You're right. Most nutritional. Yeah, when I'm not thinking and concerned, I'll take down a whole pizza to my face. No concern at all.
All right, favorite place to get that pie.
Ooh, there's a place in just north of like Arcadia area, kind of uptown area called Parlor.
Okay.
Amazing pizza.
All
Wood
right.
fired.
All right. Wood fired?
Wood fired.
Oh, that's all you got to say. Okay. High school celebrity crush.
Gosh, I think it had to have been Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oof, another strong pull. I think
Man,
I think you and me and a lot of people had a crush on J Love Hewitt at one point.
you're also dating me, Mikkel, with some of these answers, but I don't mind it.
That's okay. That's all right. That's what it's for, right? We're getting behind the curtain
Exactly.
and we're having a lot of fun with it. All right, we'll finish you off with destination pickle first. Anywhere you could go to play pickleball, where would you go?
I think it'd be pretty sick to play pickleball in Banff next to a mountain, beautiful mountain with some trees.
Awesome. Now, would you go like maybe, you know, kind of a heated court in the winter so the snow's all around, or are we heading there summertime?
Probably heated because I get cold pretty quick and I'll complain about it. So, I think a heated court makes sense.
All right. I always like to ask this. This is my version of who's coming to dinner. It's who's coming to pickle. You're on the court. 3 people. Could be anyone dead or alive. You pick the 3.
Oh my gosh. 3 people that I would pick to play pickleball with. Wow. Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
I think that would be a good time. I'm going to stay with the Italian side, James Gandolfini maybe.
Okay.
And then Tiger Woods.
Nice. Now you better play with Tony Soprano. I mean, you don't want to lose to him. And
I
so
don't. He'd
I
be my
got you and Soprano against Tiger and old Blue Eyes, right? Okay. Woo. I mean,
That's a
first
heck
of all, that's a killer foursome.
It's not bad.
I mean, if you had to, you go play 9 after you do a little pickle or vice versa.
Yep. Easy. Easy decision.
Oh, man. So much fun. Hey, Ian, so much fun here today. I really appreciate you joining me. Got Ian here from the Scottsdale Sting, UPL, Ultimate Pickleball League, folks. That's his team. That team's going to be playing week 4, league action, and you can be a part of it. Come to Dink and Dine in Mesa, Saturday, May 30th. Come at 5 o'clock, stay until about 9. Bring some friends. watch the Sting, watch the Comets, watch the Ernie, the Mavericks, the Swarm, all the great UPL teams. Hell, you probably got some friends out there on the court. They didn't even tell you they were playing in the UPL because they didn't want you to be so excited. Ian, what else can you tell the folks about this weekend? Anything you want to plug for your team or for yourself personally?
I think just, it's going to be a great night. The Dink and Dine is such a great spot. Even if, UPL or not, it's such an awesome place. Great food, like surprisingly good food, really, really good food. I shouldn't say surprisingly, just great food. Good food.
Great food.
Good food. Open bar too. So have a cocktail after a long week. Just a great place. And again, good players, really good players are going to be playing out there. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. I think it's going to be a good time.
I think it will be for sure. We've had 3 weeks of incredible Ultimate Pickleball League action. Week 4 again this weekend, May 30th. We're playing at Dink and Dine. And to Ian's point, great food, great atmosphere. You can come by, even if you don't play pickleball, check it out. Watch whatever's on the screens. Hang out for a little while. Ian, hang out with me just for a minute. Again, thanks again for your time. Really appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
This has been another ultimate episode of the Ultimate Pickleball League podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Nickel Moore. Follow all things Ultimate on our website, ultimatepickleballleague.com, on YouTube at the Ultimate Pickleball League podcast. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated. Be ultimate.